all in the Nostalgia Critic, I remember, so you don't have to. Every once in a while, you gotta get a little fashionable. And in fashion, there's no name bigger than setting the mode.
Yes, thank you, darlings, yes.
Senna's been planning a nostalgic callback to movie fashion at the turn of the century, so I figure there's no better place to have that fashion show than at the studio of the Nostalgia Critic.
Yes, my first design, the Keanu Matrix Reeves. Notice the long black trench coat that says, I'm a cool, angry rebel. Next, the Wesley Blade Snipes. Notice the long black trench coat that says, I'm a cool, angry rebel. Next, the Woo Sin City Willis. Notice the long black trench coat that says, I'm a cool, angry rebel. Next is the Nicois Face-Off Cage. Notice the long black trench coat that says, I'm a cool, angry rebel.
Merci.
Next, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen Invisible Man. Notice the long black trench coat that says, I'm a cool, angry rebel.
Gracias.
Yes, thank you, darlings, yes.
Yeah, I guess a lot of action stars in the late 90s and early 2000s had a thing for long black coats. On the one hand, it kinda makes sense as they look really cool. They're cinematically pleasing, they wave beautifully in the wind, and they immediately give the impression of that dark loner who does things differently. Yeah, except when everyone else doesn't. Yeah, now this has become a major cliche, but it is a cool cliche, still making appearances here and there. But one of the last films you could argue just barely got away with it is...
And finally, Kate Underworld Beckinsale. Notice the shoes. And the long black trench coat that says, I'm a cool, angry rebel. Yes!
You clicked on the video, you know which one it is. Released in 2003, this was one of the few comic book movies that was not based on a comic book. Surprisingly, there's not as many of these as you would think, and this by far would confuse the most people into thinking it was. Everything from the look, the story, the lines, it all suggests it came from a graphic novel. But nope, this was an original idea directed by Len Weissman and developed by Danny McBride and Kevin Grievous, who also appeared in the movie. While not a critical favorite, audiences found themselves growing an attachment to both this film and its sequels, even spawning, not surprisingly, its own comic series written by Grievous. But over 15 years later, does this film stand out more than just another long black coat movie? Well, there's only one way to find out.
Do you mind? We're trying to conduct a fashion show here.
Oh, sorry, it's kind of a bad habit I have. I'll be quiet.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next we have...
So let's take a look at Underworld. Yeah, I'm going, yeah.
Normie. There goes the neighborhood.
So how long till we get our angsty protagonist looming over the city shot? Well, you know what the people want. Make room for Daredevil, Batman, Spider-Man.
And the rest.
The war had all but ground to a halt in the blink of an eye.
So I hope you like homework because this movie lays more info in its opening minutes than SAT study guides.
Lucian, the most feared and ruthless leader, had finally been killed. The Lycan horde scattered to the wind in a single Yet the ancient blood feud proved unwilling to follow Lucian to the grave. Passing the weapons of the previous century, the two no longer held weapons that evolved, no longer held.
Okay, here's the main setup. There's a war between vampires and werewolves, or Lycans, and the vampires mostly wipe them out. However, they're shocked to find there's still quite a few left, more than they thought. Oh, and Lenny dies. I think that page was meant for something else. Today's forecast is like yesterday's forecast, blue. A whole shit ton of blue. Okay, so something you'll notice very quickly is even though this movie has a lot of cliches, they're the really good cliches. Like I could watch a whole movie of people just staring at each other before shit goes down. See, there's just something cool about it. A fight breaks out as a vampire named Celine, played by Kate Beckinsale, hunts down some Lycans in a subway station. Hey, come on, we're matrixing down here! How come movies about amazing hunters always have them missing more things than they hit? But the cool blazing saddles, you shoot them, that only makes them mad. This is no time to reenact Sorry to Bother You. Yeah, for the people that haven't seen it, good luck figuring that out. The Lycan takes out the vampires though, so only Celine is left. Yeah, those loud subway trains do sneak up on ya! She pumpkin bombs the last Lycan standing as the survivors make it back to their leader, Lucian, played by Michael Sheen. Sadly, he's actually trying in this movie, so we don't get anything that goofy. But seeing how this is a vampire flick, I am curious to see his new take on Frost Nixon.
Pierce! Taylor! Put some clothes on, will you?
There's only so much the widescreen balls can cover. Celine returns home at Vampire Toad Hall as she reports that the Lycans are still around.
Ultraviolet ammunition.
Daylight harnessed as a weapon.
We've hunted them to the brink of extinction.
They opened fire on us in full view of the public.
So here's the thing about this movie. It does have a lot of things we've seen before, and it is pretty standard as these films go, but there is a strange kind of investment. I'm not sure if it's the writing, the acting, the style, or maybe all three, but despite nothing really being that new, I do find myself really listening to what they're saying.
I'd rather have you prove me wrong by checking it out.
Soren will handle it.
Victor would believe me.
I'd never dream of treating you like that.
Of course you would.
That's why you've earned your name, Lady Brown-Nose. It looks like a big event is planned called The Awakening. I know. I'm shocked people who look like this came up with that pretentious name too. Where one of the ancient vampire lords is to be resurrected back to life. But Celine can't help but feel uneasy, and I listen to her. She's been weirdly typecast.
It's a waste of time, you know. Come on, we need to get you ready.
For what?
The party.
Party? I've been toilet trained since last week, thank you very much. Celine's friend Erica, or as she's often referred to, tries to get her ready for the big party.
You should definitely wear this one, it's perfect.
As you can see in this mirror, we're not supposed to see ourselves in hay.
You know I was planning on having you at my side this evening.
Take Erica, she's dying to be at your side.
We will have our obligatory pretty dress scene. You've done this before, you know the drill! As she tries to look closer at the two Lycans she fought, they also try to regroup at their headquarters. You will tell me the secret of the everlasting gobstopper. Oh, I do hope we cut to another blue room. Yes! More films need to look like Nightcrawler's dick was smeared all over it! By the way, comment if I'm not the only one who thought he had 4 arms for a second.
The vampires didn't realize you were following a human.
I don't think so.
You don't think, or you don't know.
I think they're the same thing in this case. As the vampires prepare for their party, Celine leaves to go search for those Lycans. But what about our obligatory pretty dress scene? Obligatory pretty dress scene! She discovers they're searching for a human named Michael Corvin, who lives in this really cool dissolve shot, while the police seem to be looking for him as well.
He's not in some kind of trouble, is he?
Let me respond through my channeling of Owen from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That should answer it for you. Michael returns home to find Celine there, as well as more Lycans hunting him down.
Well, that's just silly.
Lucian finds Michael, though, and bites him. Ooh, someone just combined Red Bull with Jolt Cola. Celine saves him, but Lucian continues to hunt them down. Hey, that cool thing that's in everything. What's the name of that thing again? Oh, fitting title. What are you, crazy? He's just standing there. You know that means he's gonna do something really neat. He's gonna do something neat! Neat, but could have been edited out. Michael offers to take over driving, but Celine insists that she's okay.
You've lost a lot of blood.
Shut up and hold on, I'll be fine.
You dames, you always act tough, but when you need a couch moved or a person to drive when you pass out from losing blood because the leader of the werewolf stabbed your shoulder with a cool thing that's in everything, you always turn to us! They crash into the river, but Michael pulls her out just before passing out himself as the lichen returns home.
If Michael is indeed a carrier, soon he will be a lichen.
He will be a lichen what? Have the dog that bit him! Oh! So Michael wakes up at the vampire mansion. Don't any bloodsuckers live in mobile homes?
You've been unconscious for a while. Do you have any idea why those men were after you?
What's that, bitch? Oh, you're totally welcome. Always love saving people from a sinking car. The rest of the vampires are not as happy, though, having a human in their home.
You go against my orders and spend the night away from the shelter of the mansion with a human?
I just need you to understand that Michael is somehow important to the lichen.
Oh, so now it's Michael!
What happened to the name I gave him? Stupid poopy dumb head. Erica gets a closer look, though, and discovers he's been bitten by a lichen. I have other cartoon cat reflexes. I can have a mallet like that. Michael escapes, just pissing off the vampires even more, so Celine prepares once again to hunt him down.
Do you believe Lucian died the way they say he did?
Craven been telling more stories again, eh?
It's nothing but an ancient story.
I know it's sexist to tell a woman to smile, but is it sexist to tell everyone to smile? I'm surprisingly invested enough in these performances and how dedicated the actors are to them, but it's a little hard to be drawn in when absolutely nobody gives a smirk, a wink, a laugh, a joke. Even if the setup has no sense of humor, you can still do something funny with that. Like the knock-knock joke from Catch Me If You Can. That's not a funny character, but he's given a funny scene, allowing us to relate to him a lot more. It's amazing how far a little scene like that can go. You want to see them die less when you have more to like about them. It's like having the Avengers without any of the scenes of them just chilling and talking. You still get the cool scenes, but something is really missing when you take those moments out. With that said, it's not really bad in any way, it's just kind of going through the motions. Like when the main lead looks up something bad that happened in the past and, oh no, may happen again!
Of the scores of brave souls who entered Lucian's fortress, a single vampire survived, Craven, returning with evidence of the Lichen Master's demise.
Okay, how many books actually have the ancient artifact they're talking about in the book? Look, the Legend of Arthur and the Holy Grail, complete with the Holy Grail. It doesn't work that way! Ah, the old folktale. Spell Victor's name on a mirror, do nothing, and nothing will occur. It came true!
Please forgive me, but I desperately need your guidance.
So Celine plans to bring back a different elder named Victor, whom she had a strong connection with, in the hopes that he'll know what to do, despite him being resurrected over a different elder chosen by the rest. I taste like chicken.
To my knowledge,
an
awakening
that's
has
right,
never
someone's
been
narrating
attempted
this.
by one such as myself.
I'll admit I like that it's not over-narrated like a lot of other movies that use narrations, but it does happen so rarely it kinda surprises you when it occurs. I mean, if you're gonna start an idea, don't abandon it halfway through, right?
Well, perhaps you could consider that
I'm sure she agrees. So among people walking to things, ancient stuff being looked at, and so many, many, many angry brows. I'm legit not complaining, I love all that stuff. Michael returns back to the mansion and Celine drives him away.
Never come here again, they'll kill you, do you understand?
Why? Who are you people?
We're Batman. What? Sorry, felt right in the moment. Meanwhile, the head of the house, Craven, discovers that Victor has been risen instead of the chosen elder.
She never listens. I should have told you sooner.
Told me what?
That I look like a guy who constantly smells something bad. Victor rises and hates that his old person afterlife of watching CSI and Fox News has been interrupted.
This coven has grown weak.
Victor is played by Bill Nighy, though he sounds more like Matthew McConaughey auditioning for Downton Abbey.
You know why I have been awakened, servant?
I'll soon find out.
You must let her come to me. We have much to discuss, Celine and I.
This is worse than that time I discovered I was a video game character in Serenity. You are never gonna see it! Celine takes Michael to a lab where she plans to figure out why the lichens want him. While there, she reveals that she hates the Lycans because they killed her human family, but Victor saved her and turned her into a vampire. When Michael asks who started the war between them, she says they did! Maybe.
Or at least, that's what we've been led to believe. Digging into the past is forbidden.
Suspicious much? Man, if you have to just go off someone's word, especially when there's mounting proof to the contrary, aren't you setting yourself up as a sucker? You know, let me see if that actually works. Malcolm, Tamara.
For shizzle?
Malcolm, did you know that Tamara killed the dinosaurs?
Is that true?
No!
But Malcolm, I really want you to believe that.
He's got a point.
Malcolm, there is a ton of evidence that proves I did not kill the dinosaurs.
Well, then Malcolm, I guess you have to ask yourself, who do you believe and who do you want to believe?
Well, I've known Tamara to be a kind, generous person ever since we've met. And I've known you to be an attention-hungry drama whore who complains night and day. However, I do love drama, so...
All right, Missy. Here you go. All right. Resistant arrest, eh? I'm ready to speak with you.
Well done, Malcolm. You made my right choice.
You mean the right choice?
What'd I say?
Your right choice.
Indeed it is. Celine handcuffs Michael to the chair, saying it's the only way to keep him safe if he transforms. She returns to the mansion where, let me guess, all the vampires are sitting around like a Vanity Fair shoot? I'd say that's far-fetched, but isn't that what we all think vampires do anyway? Where Craven, let me guess again, complains about something.
How could you do this to me? Embarrass me like
Jason around after some human was not what I had in Just mind. be on me while you're still obsessing over this ridiculous theory.
Absolutely not. Not now. Not for a random incursion. Take this warrior business far too seriously. You go to him, you'll never be welcome in this house again.
This guy bitches more than... What's the latest social media trend people use for whining? Still? Okay. She ignores him, though, and goes straight to Victor. Line. Oh, you're keeping that in? Okay, I've done weirder.
Constantly hounded by Craven and his never-ending infatuation.
He desires the one thing he cannot have.
A full performance where he can show his face. Oh wait, that's me.
The chain has never been broken, not since we elders first began to leapfrog through time.
Okay, I just love that this ancient elderly vampire used the term leapfrog. I hopscotched through space and tiddly-winked through eternity.
The Coven is in danger and Michael is the...
Ah, the ceremonial chicken transformation.
The Coven is in danger and Michael is the...
You will not be shown an ounce of leniency. You must be judged!
Well, that backfired. So Celine is locked away until they decide what fate awaits her.
No one opens this door. Understood?
Oh, I remember. Can he leave the room with us?
Meanwhile, Michael tries using the gun to shoot the cuffs off. It doesn't work. Thank God we saw that. But Erica breaks in to set Celine free. Thank God she would have found no way out of this escape-proof dungeon.
Why are you helping me?
I'm not. I'm helping me.
Well, that invites no follow-up questions. Off you go. She gets to Michael, but she's followed, so she once again tries to save him.
Jump!
I said jump, not plummet! He's captured again, though. He does that very well. Celine, however, captures the Lycan scientist and brings him to Victor.
Now I want you to tell them exactly what you told me.
Oh, your boobs are amazing. I can motorboat them all night. Ah!
We've been searching for some of Alexander Corvinus, Hungarian, in power in the early seasons of the 5th century.
Did you have to give the exposition to the thickest accent in the movie? Okay, it's a bit hard to follow through Hugo Brad Derv Weaving's accent, but it sounds like he was working on combining the bloodlines of both vampires and Lycans.
It has already begun.
Okay, that's not the coolest punch I've seen, but it's in the top 4. So they discover Craven has betrayed them and is in cahoots with Lucian.
I thought we had a deal.
These are matters to be discussed in private.
You know what just hit me? Why am I rooting for any of these people? Whoever wins is gonna eat us! Lucian uses his Sauron vision to show Michael that long ago, Lucian and Victor's daughter were lovers. But combining the bloodlines would make them too powerful, so he had his daughter killed. A Wolfio and Gouliad, if you will.
I was born in servitude. Yet I harbored them no ill will, even took a vampire for my bride.
You know, I'm really growing to like Lucian. First of all, he's the only one that smiles. Second, he is an interesting and complex character. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him. What now? Boo! Boo! Can we at least have Vampire him react to that? Things feel okay now. Look, even the writer is feeling bad that he killed him off. Oh no, the two bodyguards we barely seen in this movie are gonna fight. I'm so invested in this! No, on second thought, this is like ordering a burger but getting a steak, but the steak is a lot better, so I'll take it. I gotta look behind me for no reason. I regret looking behind me for no reason! There's a big shootout with the vampires and werewolves all at each other's throats as Craven tries to escape. Clumsiest, dumbass vampire ever. Celine frees Michael and I guess they were in love too. Hooray. But Craven gets the drop on it. God, this guy's so unlikable, he could be a Baldwin. Craven reveals, though, that Victor killed Celine's family and only spared her because she reminded him of his own daughter. But Lucien gets one more ha-ha-ha in as Celine bites Michael to save him, turning him into a powerful hybrid.
Is it not a fair trade, the life I have granted you?
And the life of your daughter?
I loved my daughter.
Ooh, he turned into a Trump speech for a second.
I loved my daughter.
I love my daughter. She's great, huge. Michael is fully transformed, though, and... Oh, I think I'm gonna like Werepire. Yeah, this fight's pretty awesome. There's so much gunplay in this movie that, while cool, does make you forget this is a vampire versus werewolf film. Well, here, you get a good reminder as they scratch each other, punch each other, sneer at each other, throw each other. Literally not making a dent, that's weird. But there is something bizarrely awesome about seeing an aging, fanged Davy Jones deliver hooks to Ben from Felicity doing his impression of Thriller. I am not dissatisfied.
Time to die.
Why is that such a popular phrase in movies? It's not a good line. It's like someone saying, I want you to be dead now, and everyone else going like, whoa, we gotta use that. Celine grabs a sword though, and per YouTube's constantly changing monetization rules, I have no idea if I can show you what she does to him, so here's a dramatic reenactment. It's pretty cool. Celine and Michael run off, knowing they're gonna be hunted by both sides as the next vampire elder is raised, and it seems the world of vampires and werewolves has been changed forever. And a good way this time. And that was Underworld, a standard but surprisingly kind of interesting flick. On the one hand, I can see why critics didn't like it. It is slow and could have used a lot more relatability and uniqueness, but I can also see why audiences liked it, because it is a very complex and engaging story. It's nice to see a movie that says screw the humans, let's just keep it focused on the monsters and their problems. The rules of this world are kind of cool, and it's neat to hear how and why they want to keep those rules the way they are. I do wish there was a little more personality in the dialogue these characters say, but at the same time, they're all acted pretty well and seem invested enough that it gets me invested too. It's kind of like what Gene Siskel said about Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. He said, I have no idea what he wants, but he wants it so badly, I want him to get it. It's the same thing here. It's not amazing or anything, but I did want to know what was gonna happen and want to know even more about how this world works. I don't think it's for everyone, but I had a decent enough time watching it. Fly on in and take a bite for yourself. So I guess it is more than just a run-of-the-mill long black coat movie. Hey, speaking of which, how's that fashion show doing?
Yes, thank you for coming to my show, darling.
Whoa! That airplane just crashed and its engine is still on!
Let's go save the day.
No, coats are like capes. They always get stuck in...
That's not good for anyone. I'm the Nostalgia Critic, and if fashion breeds impracticality breeds messiness.